This is JoyNews Prime with me, Carlos Caloni. Our lead stories this hour. Niger, Mali and Burkina Faso quit ECOWAS regional bloc. But why? We'll find out from some regional watchers on the latest developments. Also, one more person shot dead at Abrewan Corp in the Nkwanta South municipality of the OT region, bringing the number of casualties resulted from the latest conflict of the area to 13. We'll hear from some family members. And 6 injured after gunmen ambushed and attacked passengers on a Kumasi-bound bus upon reaching Wale Wale in the northeast region. We have details. We are live on DSTV channel 421, Go TV channel 125. We are your home of independent, fearless, and credible journalism. Please stay with us. Thank you so much for joining us here on JoyNews Prime. Now, Niger, Mali, and Burkina Faso said on Sunday they are leaving the economic community of West African states, that ECOWAS, immediately, according to a joint statement. Now, quote, after 49 years, the valiant people of Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger regretfully and with great disappointment observed that the ECOWAS organization has drifted from the ideals of its founding fathers and the spirit of Pan-Africanism, end of quote. Colonel Amadou Abdramani, Niger junta spokesperson, said in a statement, and I quote, the organization notably failed to assist these states in the existential fight and against insecurity in the region. Now, on this particular story, joining us via Zoom with more is the executive director of the West African state.
Appelé aux autorités, j'ai l'insigne honneur de donner lecture d'un communiqué conjoint, communiqué dont la teneur suit.
The respective heads of state, the two generals and the colonel of Burkina Faso, Mali and Niger. After 49 years of existence, the people of Burkina Faso, Mali and Niger have noted with regret how this organization, ECOWAS, has distanced itself from the Pan-Africanist ideals and ideas of its founders. Again, ECOWAS, influenced by foreign powers, has become a menace to its member states and the populace of these states, which it was supposed to deliver happiness to. In effect, ECOWAS did not assist us, these 3 states, in our fight against the existential threats we have faced in terms of terrorism and broader security. Even worse, apart from distancing itself from us, it has adopted an irrational and unacceptable posture of imposing illegitimate, illegal and inhumane and irresponsible sanctions against us in violation of its own tenets and regulations. Faced with these and the scourge of terrorism, the leaders of these 3 states, Burkina Faso, Mali and Niger, decide, with all of its sovereign powers, the withdrawal of Burkina Faso, Mali and Niger from ECOWAS.
Now, joining us via Zoom with more is the Executive Director of the West African Network for Peace Building, Chua Many. Many thanks for your time, Mr. Eze. Did you see this coming and why?
Well, I think that multilateralism is challenged globally now, whether it is the UN, the African Union, or ECOWAS. So one would argue that even though it is unfortunate, it was the signs were already there that this could happen, because member states were losing faith in intergovernmental organizations.
I see. So what could this mean for the bloc?
I think it's a huge challenge, especially for a region that is touted as the beacon of integration. ECOWAS continue to be a reference point amongst other regional economic communities in Africa and even beyond, as a region that was already ahead of others with regards to its integration policy. And therefore, I think that the coming together of what I would describe as the coalition of the willings of the junta is a huge challenge, not just with regards to the peace and security situation in the Sahel region, but also the entire region is challenged by this unfortunate development.
I see. So in terms of mediation, what can be done?
Well, I think that without preempting the ECOWAS rules and procedures, I think that ECOWAS will regard this decision as more or less as a decision taken by an illegal junta, and probably will continue what they should have done even prior to this period. Because at some point, and in fact, I want to distinguish between the ECOWAS Commission and the Authority of Heads of State and Government. I think that the Commission, in all fairness, has been ahead of the Authority of Heads of States with regards to preventive mechanism to ensure that this does not occur. But unfortunately, our leaders, we are deaf to all the early warning signs. Beginning in 2014, when WANEP and other civil society coalitions led the quest for a review of the ECOWAS Protocol on Democracy and Good Governance to ensure that part of it, and next to it, would be the inclusion of term limits. The heads of state and government, led by two other countries, unfortunately stepped it down. And the result is what we are seeing today, because these three countries are feeling that ECOWAS, in their quest to ensure good governance, in their quest to ensure that democratic tenets and ethos are respected, ignored them. And now they are calling them juntas just because they are in military uniform, when they allow civilians to also mutilate, as it were, the constitutional order.
Is that to suggest that what they are saying about the existential threats that ECOWAS did not do much about it is true?
Well, I will not accept that, because if you look at the reasons why even the military gave to take over power, security is at the center of it. And yet, whether it is in Mali, Burkina Faso, or Niger, post-military takeover in these three countries, the security situation has worsened, as it were. The economic situation has worsened. They could blame it to sanction, which I don't agree. The streets of Bamako is dark in the night. So at the end of the day, the citizens are the ones paying the price for this kind of illegal leadership that exists in these three countries.
All right, so let's look at these three countries, Niger, Mali, and Burkina Faso, who have some threats, according to they themselves. How can they individually tackle this threat that they face now? I mean, the fact that now they are exiting ECOWAS.
We must not remove the influence of current geopolitics in what is happening in the Sahel region. There are new friends, there are new foes, and to that extent, they have been promised that if you quit, something will happen. And this is coming from international partners, you know. So I don't know how they think they can handle that, because this is a region that is connected in many ways with its porous borders, as it were, and also similarities in terms of the kind of security challenges that we face. So, in my opinion, it would have been better to continue to engage this fight against terrorism and insecurity and even economic challenges as a community rather than as individual states. The three of them occupy almost the bottom pyramid of the poorest of the countries in the region. So I am wondering what is giving them those kind of courage, if not for some promises they have received from countries that unfortunately also have interest in those countries to further siphon the natural resources in those three countries.
Do they have any other option apart from those countries you mentioned?
I think the option left for them is to have a rethink, return to democratic rule, and also come back to the community where they belong. We are better together. We are stronger together as a union than as individuals. Otherwise, multilateralism has come to a very critical stage and is being challenged at the moment.
Now, finally, what do you expect ECOWAS to do at this point? Either to woo them back to the bloc, or you think that they should let them go?
My opinion is that ECOWAS should disregard that on the basis of the fact that the foundation itself is faulty, which is a decision that is made by a junta, cannot stand the test of time. So let ECOWAS woo, as it were, and partner with the citizens of these countries and continue to push for return to democratic order. And to that extent, let them disregard whatever has happened as null and void. Thank you so much, Chua Many, for speaking to us here on Joy News Prime. Now, away from that story, one more person has been shot dead at Corp in the Nkwanta sub-municipality of the Oti region. This brings the number of casualties to over 13 persons since the conflict started in October 2023. Now, there have been targeted killings in the nearby settlement in the municipality. Just 2 weeks ago, at a RECSET meeting, the chiefs called on their clanmen to lay down their tools or arms for the peace process to officially kickstart. But in a sharp turn of events, 21-year-old Christian Kobena Boame was shot dead yesterday, Saturday, January 27, when the family went to farm to harvest some food crops after the burial of the uncle, who also died under similar circumstances. Now, Joy News is learning that 3 persons have been arrested in connection with the killing yesterday. It's a family member narrating the incident to Joy News.
Friend of Kwamna. Nim feel about 25 years and run off on a mukwa and then 3 weeks for paper mukum. His name
is Kwabna. He's about 25 years old. He went to the farm yesterday morning.
15 minutes time.
It's been 3 weeks since our cousin was killed, so we buried him yesterday. Some of our siblings also went to the farm after the burial to harvest cassava. After they got to the farm, in about 15 minutes, they saw my brother harvesting the cassava. The people were already in the farm. They shot my brother while he was harvesting. Some of the women on the farm suffered some gunshot wounds, but my brother died on the spot because he was shot in the head. 3 Chalamen have been arrested. We beg the government to ensure justice prevails because whenever there's an issue, we don't see any positive outcome.
And now, upon once I could check back, so I become. Police station. And yes, say,
our houses were first burnt and our properties destroyed, yet no justice. My brother's shop was burnt and he was also arrested. It's been 3 months now. He's still in police custody. But those who have been attacking us are still walking free, even though we have duly reported these attacks to the police. We don't understand why it is so. We need government intervention.
Now,
my colleague Peter Sanu joins us via phone to give us details about what's actually happening in that community. Peter, so paint a picture for us. What is the atmosphere like within the Nkwanta and the Corp community after this incident happened?
Well, Carlos, as we do know and as the lady has narrated, it's a tense atmosphere. Everybody is praying for peace to return to the Nkwanta municipality. And so this sad event happening yesterday, everybody is apprehensive as to what exactly may happen next. Because we do know that a few weeks ago, at a RECSET meeting, the chiefs pledged their commitment to ensure that peace returns to Nkwanta. And in fact, there was supposed to be a public ceremony for all to see that peace is returning. And so just last week, tomorrow will be exactly 1 week, school children marched on the street to protest the effects of the curfew on academic activities. And so for this to happen, it's a tense environment, not even within the Brewanko area, but the municipality at large. In fact, last week, traders said that in fact, they should relax the curfew for them, but not the call of, for the curfew to be removed entirely, but they should relax it. But for this to happen within a week, in fact, they are worried. It's a cause for worry. And tomorrow being a market day for the Nkwanta market day for the people, for traders, in fact, it's a cause for worry for many traders. Carlos.
All right. Thank you so much, Peter, for the update. Ndinki Christian is the assemblyman elect for the Nyambo East electoral area in the Nkwanta South municipality. Joins us live on the phone. Christian, you are the assembly member where this latest killing happened. Has this come to your attention, and can you confirm if some persons have been arrested in connection with this fresh killing?
Okay. Thank you very much. Yes, on the 27th of January, that was yesterday, there was a news and a call all of a sudden from my state that there is a kind of attack from the Aban community. It is a farming land. The Aban, they have a farming land that they've been going to do their major farming and other activities on. So all of a sudden, it called that there was an attack, that there were people, assailants, shooting on their land that they do farm, because people went to fetch food. And actually, he called, and I have to call the community, the security, to take in charge, because the law is not in an individual's hands. So we have to leave it to security. So we called on them, and they also went. And as we are speaking, there have been some people arrested from the issue.
Are you able to share the number of people who have been arrested with us?
Yes, please. For now, so far as we're speaking, we have two major assailants, or two major victims who have been arrested. And one called Mr. Felix Donko, who is from Odomi. And another also called Frank, and the other name is what I'm not clear with. So he's called Frank. But for him, the Felix was caught yesterday night with the serious and the diligent work of the security. And for the Frank, he is caught this morning with the cordon and searching work of the security. That is the police and the soldiers around doing their work as they must do, which we must recommend them for that. So he is caught with some ammunition, I think 11 AA rounds or whatever kind of bullets that he was caught with. The Frank guy also from Odomi, and the cordon and searching was also done at the Odomi, because that is the nearby community to the Abuanko farming land. They share boundaries with those people. So as an assembly member, I think as you have asked, that is what I have on the table now.
Okay, beyond this arrest, what is the police telling you in terms of investigation and also the earlier RECSEC directive to try to bring this situation under control?
Thank you very much. RECSEC directive, we met all the chiefs, the various chiefs from the various communities in Nkwanta and its environs met at Dambai on the 10th of January 2024, which was a Wednesday. The meeting started at 12:10 p.m. with some RECSEC members and other people. And the assurance was that all the chiefs met, the communities that are involved or were involved in this kind of tribal conflict were gathered, and they all are signed. They were all in agreement that they were not going to allow their people to engage in this kind of unusual or unlawless kind of attack. So they signed a committee or they signed a document, a moment that they are never going to do this kind of thing. So we all hope, and Nkwanta started moving as it is with the help of the security and the RECSEC and other things. So all of a sudden, this happened. But what we are saying is that the security tried their best to even preach to people, various communities, as if they are pastors and other evangelists, trying to tell people gun and shooting wouldn't bring peace. But what can bring peace is about negotiation and what? Dialogue. So they have also said, if persuasion fails, force must be applied. Whatever the attack will come from should be clear now, and it is clear to them. And I think they are doing their work, and they are showing the people under attack, which is the Aban and their Chode communities around.
All right.
They should be rest assured that they can work.
All
so
right.
That is what we have at hand now.
Iniki, thank you. Thank you so much. We appreciate your time here on JoyNews Prime. Now, moving on, a passenger bus traveling from Zibila and Misiga in the Upper East region to Kumasi has also been attacked by gunmen in Wali Wali, the Northeast region. Now, the attack was said to have occurred at around 9 p.m. Friday, 26 January, as the bus was entering the Wali Wali township. 6 passengers were injured and are being treated at the hospital in Wali Wali. The police in the region say they are investigating the incident. Meanwhile, military and police patrols have been intensified on the Tamale-Boga highway. My colleague Elias Otanko reports.
Eyewitnesses say the gunmen, numbering about 4, emerged from a nearby forest at the town's outskirts and opened fire with the intention to ground the vehicle and target the passengers. However, according to the eyewitnesses, the driver, who was shot in the leg, managed to stay on course until finally crashing the vehicle into the wall of a senior high school in Wali Wali and about 200 meters away from the attack location. 6 people, including the driver, were injured by the gunfire and were rushed to the hospital. At the crash scene, students of the Wali Wali Technical and Vocational Senior High School gathered the next morning to watch with shock and surprise the extensively grounded vehicle and the serious damage caused to their school wall. When approached, the students declined to comment. After the attack, security personnel quickly arrived at the scene and helped the passengers to alight from the vehicle. The passengers who survived the attack were then shepherded to safety inside the municipal police headquarters that is just a handshaking distance from where the vehicle crashed. At the police station, some of the survivors spoke to Joy News.
Do you know the number of people that have been injured? Approximately 6, including a 6-year child. So now that you are at the police station, have they told you anything? What are you doing here? And when are you leaving? Do you know?
The police have assured us that they are arranging for a bus to come and then transport us to the bus. So we are waiting on the police.
Free Zebla Neba. It's a bedroom, and Muhammad Bakroom. Near some to Niger, it's when a cannibal brain. A big kind of driver in a night. Yes, I can say to a can be and them in a dam. And so it's me say we are free, baby. I'm to at the Bayanti, not the 9 near tear break this net to the kind and a jow buffa, school more the Koshidri and Musabaya, obey save we. And see a driving in a vampire man. Cause a young one, Katama is when a can no Jinawa, coming sure say any what kind winner could be best survive.
Well, more than 2 hours, never back about 6. On 9 hours. Because I may throw on a hospital. A to call a mom hospital. Around the nanny in a 2 hours. I'm only didn't tell more attacking.
You're still watching JoyNews Prime with me, Carlos Colon. We take a short break. We'll return with business. Stay with us. Now, in business, Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta says he expects the economy to firmly stabilize in the coming months. It follows significant progress made under the IMF program, which has led to the disbursement from the institution and the World Bank. Ken Ofori-Atta cites other programs being implemented to help check budget overruns and help improve revenue. Ken Ofori-Atta spoke to Joy Business.
The numbers are clear. Inflation has gone down by 31% within this period. Growth has been strong, despite what we think. The banks performed much better than we thought, and the currency has held. These are important flag posts, and we'll continue to keep at them. So I'm expecting a pretty robust year with regards to the economy. We will make sure that job creation continues. We will make sure that the social protection is not compromised, and certainly industry will be supported. The mutual prosperity dialogue, which is engaging government more actively with the private sector, will continue. And I think we'll continue to hold our heads up in the months ahead.
Any special support for the private sector? They still see cost of credit as a major challenge for them. And how would also this impact on the cost of credit for them?
It is. I mean, it's evident, and therefore the issue of the supremacy of inflation. As we move forward, the central bank is clear on moving us towards 8 plus or minus 2, target 15, and we'll stick to it. It's been having to take very difficult decisions, bold decisions, but nonetheless stick to it. And I think we are all, the evidence is clear for all of us. So for me, we can't be timid about the way forward. Taxes are difficult for everybody, but that's what helps with the stability.
That's all we have in this particular bulletin. You can log on to myjoyonline.com for more stories. My name is Carlos Keloni. Stay tuned for the probe at 8 o'clock.